Episode 1031 of the Vietnam Veteran News Podcast will feature an examination of one of the pathetically ineffective strategies utilized by our top national leadership in the execution of the war in Vietnam. A story found in the Atlantic Monthly titled, "The Computer That Predicted the U.S. Would Win the Vietnam War" pretty well sums up the situation. It was provided by Alexis C. Madrigal, a staff writer at The Atlantic. He is the author of Powering the Dream, The History and Promise of Green Technology. The story ties in with something this podcaster has been pondering lately while observing the ubiquitous iPhones everyone seems to have these days. Everywhere you look, people have their noses glued to their devices. They seem to walk around in mesmerized states, following whatever info their device provides. I realize the devices could be something George Orwell's Big Brother of 1984 infamy would appreciate. With them, the government could utilize iPhones to control the population. The widespread use of iPhones is preparing the people to readily accept directions from their devices. It would not be a difficult thing for the government to slide into the data flow being fed to a receptive population with controlling instructions. No doubt, members of the Trilateral Commission already have this under consideration, and George Soros is funding the program. Be on the alert. Madrigal's story fits in with this line of thought. In it, he describes how the high-up managers of the Vietnam War did their best to quantify the war with numbers that could be put into computers, which would provide answers to the questions raised by the war they were running in Vietnam. This effort was initially started by Robert McNamara, the whiz kid systems expert from Ford Motor Company, who was serving as Secretary of Defense at the time. The numbers game did not work for the Johnson War administration, yet Richard Nixon picked up where McNamara left off when he became president in 1969. Listen to episode 1031 of the Vietnam Veteran News Podcast and discover the reason for the futility of trying to reduce the Vietnam War to an analysis of numbers. Go to VietnamVeteranNews.com.